Hey, it's UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Looks like we're going to be at all-time highs when the market opens in a little bit. I've been saying it for a couple years now. Of course, look, since November, the Abenomics low, I like to call it, because that's when Abe Shinzo over in Japan said, "All right, well, we're gonna peg our policy to the inflation rate," and of course, the Japanese have been mired in what people call stagflation. So the Japanese have been printing money hand over fist. My goodness, where did they get that idea from? And so now we have the market obviously below this trend line. You can see it's broken below this November trend line, which is very bullish, but that was a tough nut to crack all the way up to keep this magnitude of rise in stocks. We pull back, that's healthy. We get this pullback here. Now we're back at all-time highs, and I was talking about this about a week or two ago, that we're going to hit new all-time highs and then put a little handle in here. To me, this would be a nice cup. Fill it up with alcohol. I think that's what I said a week or two ago. And then we're going to handle and then blast up, and we're going to hit new all-time highs before year's end. I said that even down here when we were in that Syrian crisis. My goodness, we're going to attack. Sell everything. So let's move on to some stocks here that I'm looking at. I also talked about Google about 2 weeks ago. Talked about this line. I actually put a chart up on StockTwits and the blog at OptionMillionaires.com talking about 845. And so now we have a nice rally up, but now we're looking at trend line resistance. We started to roll over the last 2 days of last week, and we could see a pullback down to this level, but a break above it, and I said it numerous times when I talk about Google. I think it's going to ultimately hit $1,000 by the end of the year, and certainly new all-time highs within the next month or two. But if we can break out of this trend line, it's going to look very bullish for the stock, and you could say an overall consolidation pattern. If it does, of course, the last 2 days did not look so promising. But again, pullbacks aren't always the worst thing unless you're talking about Apple, which is trading lower pre-market, coming up to this 460 support line. This right here is going to be a significant line in the sand. If Apple cannot hold this, and I've been saying this for quite a while, I thought Apple was going to break out to new all-time highs this year. If it breaks this line to the downside, then you might as well forget that happening this year. However, if the stock can turn around and muster some gains, I'm still holding true to my belief that Apple is going to head up to $600 and then new all-time highs. Let's go to Tesla. Tesla's been collared in a tight range, and when I say collared, I just mean that's consolidation. That's another word for consolidation. The stock's not going too high or too low. It's consolidating. We've had a massive move up. And up in this area here, once we started hitting new all-time highs, everybody and his brother wanted to short the stock. And then you have a lot of people who say, all right, I'm going to play it for more upside. So what does it do? It does exactly what everybody thinks it's not going to do, and it just trades flat, sucking the premium out of calls, out of the money calls, and out of the money puts, giving people who sell those contracts some profit, as well as consolidating. So you're getting a host of people who are saying, all right, well, time to sell. You know, if you're in Tesla from $40, here you go. Here's your opportunity. So they're selling. Then you have a host of other people saying, well, I think it's going higher. And so they're buying into it. So that's what the consolidation is all about. So once the sellers are out of the picture and the stock sees the continuation of buying that it's seen since its move up in the middle of February and March, the stock is going to break out, head over $200, and still defy everybody's thinking the stock's going to pull back. So that's my look with Tesla. I like UNXL, heavy short position in this stock. Again, it's got a nice trend line, so that's something you can rely upon. If you're looking to get into the stock, if you're just going to go long, or if you're buying the calls, we break through this purple line here. This is a trend line support. Then all bets are off, and we could be looking at a pullback to about $12.50, ultimately maybe $10 over the next month or two. But I think as long as we hold this line, to me, it looks like we've kind of bottomed here. And I think it's going to be like we saw $17.50, $20, and I think it's going to be like $22.50 to the upside when the stock does rally off this level, which could be starting today. And finally, Caterpillar. Love this chart. I'm in and out of these options, gosh, all the time. But recently, I've been kind of shying away as the stock has been consolidating. You see these beautiful bull flags, and then pulled back, bottomed here at about, what was that, 65, something like that. That was in an earnings report. Pulled up to over $100, and then has since been in this beautiful, to me, ready to break out pattern as we're holding the $80 level. And to me, looks like it wants to break out again to the upside. We're going to maybe put in a triple top or blast to new all-time highs. So Caterpillar, I think, is going to be a very active option going forward for me. I'm going to be trading it via calls, so hopefully it doesn't rally too hard out of the gate. I can get some cheap calls, but if it does, I'll wait for the dust to settle this morning and hopefully get a pullback, and I'll be able to get it for a move up to about $95 this week. We have earnings this week. We have Adobe. We have Federal Express Wednesday before the bell. FDX is the ticker. And you can see it kind of, to me, looks like it's going to break it. You can almost say there's a cup and handle here that it's just talking about with the S&P 500. We have the cup and a handle, so it's a continuation pattern. So I'd look for FedEx Corp to head to new all-time highs. Wow, go figure. Market's heading to new all-time highs. FedEx, new all-time highs. Cracker Barrel. I always get that one wrong. There we go. CBRL. You can see CBRL breaking out. I don't know what that's doing there. Sometimes you get a line. It's just like, well, you left me all here by myself. What's wrong with you? So anyway, Cracker Barrel, that's Wednesday. And then after the bell, we have Oracle. Oracle, which is above trend line, former resistance. Now it's support. So to me, you have to side with the trend, which is higher. So we'll see with Oracle. And then next week, earnings kind of slow down a little bit, but we still have some decent earnings trades. But for the most part, we're just looking at this week. It's going to be an active week. S&P 500, new all-time highs. It's going to be a lot of interesting stocks. Some of these heavily shorted names continue to perform well. How about Netflix? Nobody believed in that stock. Look at it breaking out over $300. Amazing move. All right, UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Have a great trading day, an awesome week. It's going to be an exciting one. Goodbye.